Hey guys, I am here at GenCon 2016 with one of our favorites, Wehrs here at Calliope Games. Ray, thank you for taking the time to do this. We're talking about Hive Mind today. This is a game by Richard Garfield, of course, which is a name that many of you will remember. And it's a trivia style game, right? So tell me about how this works.
It is indeed. So first of all, Stephen, thank you for coming here in the middle of all this craziness, right? Because this is a crazy show. We're packed and it's like a lot of fun.
Story of GenCon, right?
I love it. I love it that you're coming by and saying hello. Yeah, so Hive Mind. Hive Mind is a trivia game, trivia style game with no trivia.
That's a good start.
And it's about thinking alike, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily having the right answer. It's actually about being able to match people's answer at the table. So you want to be thinking like everybody else. So here's the story behind the game. We have a hive filled with drones or worker bees.
Okay.
Okay. And the queen bee here is saying, you know what, we have a shortage on food this winter, and if you want to stay in the hive, you need to think like everybody else. And so I'm going to make a decision on who has to leave the hive based on how well they think alike or don't think alike.
All right, so you're going to find the rogue bees, essentially.
That is correct. So in Hive Mind, we have basically 300 cards. They're printed double-sided. Right?
Yeah.
And the cards themselves or the questions themselves are all based off of experience. So it's a trivia style game, but there is no actual right or wrong, right?
Okay.
So it's all experience based. So a question might be, name 5 things that you did on the playground when you were in 5th grade. Right? Now, the experience you had on the playground when you were in 5th grade versus the experience I had on the playground when I was in 5th grade, and my dad, and possibly your son, right? Now, all of us can answer this question. However, that answer is going to be very different. So we're all trying to think about what was the other person doing on the playground in 5th grade.
Wow, and as you're giving answers that might apply to me, you're not giving those answers that would actually apply to you. And so then the person who thought that they were giving your answers is actually not going to be in the hive anymore because you're giving mine, you know?
So the way that it works, right, is it's all about matching. So you had the opportunity to match on 5 different answers, right? So it's like, name 5 things that you did. So everybody, the active player, right, when it's their turn, they actually roll a d6.
Okay.
They're going to move the queen on the queen track, and depending on where she lands, it's going to affect 1, 2, or 3 bees in the hive. So 1, 2, or 3 people are actually going to move down on the hive, and the first player to exit the hive will end the game.
I see.
Okay?
Okay.
And a lot of times it's 2 or 3 people exiting the hive at the same time. Sometimes it's just 1 person. All right?
Nice.
So with the question, when we go to score it, let's say that you and I both said swings, right? And 2 other people did not have swings on their list, right? So because you and I tied or matched, right, we would both get 2 points. 1 point for each person that actually matched that answer.
Okay.
So everybody would get the opportunity to read off their full list of 5 answers. And everybody that matched you would also get 1 point for each person that actually matched that answer.
Wow, okay.
All right?
Yeah,
so if we got 5 people playing, you have the opportunity to actually score 5 points for a 5 answer question.
All right.
Okay? So if you're the lowest man, right, and here we're showing that 2 actual worker bees would go down on the hive. If we were the 2 lowest and we were up here, we would have to move our 2 worker bees down 1 position in the hive.
Excellent.
Okay? Now when we get down to the bottom of the hive, you'll see that we have gates set up here. And really that's for if somebody just is not thinking like everybody else, and they hit the gate's actually removed instead of them actually moving down a level.
Okay.
So it's a catch-up mechanic so that nobody gets too far out ahead.
Yeah.
Right? And it makes the game a lot of fun and really easy to play.
Excellent. So it's a little buffer there.
Exactly.
And so is there any significance to the active player? Is that just you're reading the card, or is there anything else that goes on to that?
No, so the active player is going to roll the dice, move the queen, and then read the card.
Okay.
And that,
and then everybody's on an even playing field after that moment.
That
We're all
is
giving
correct.
answers and scoring together.
That is correct.
So what's your favorite thing about Hive Mind? Now, one of the things that you told me earlier that I think is really important is that it supports up to 12 players.
Yes.
It's hard to find a game that can adequately do that without alienating somebody, and I feel like this is probably the closest that I've ever seen to a true group game.
And so we have played this game with really up to 30 players, okay?
Wow.
The only thing that comes in the box, though, is up to 12. So you get 12 of our people. So we are all people, right? So that's our motto, right? So we have a We Are People pin, right? So next year we'll actually have T-shirts. It's all about being people. So the more peoples we can get, the better off we're all going to be.
Excellent.
The world's going to become a better place.
Is this, do you know how the design process worked with this for Richard? I know that he had talked about how he really liked to explore different types of games.
Yes.
I think this was kind of his ode to the trivia game. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And he had done a similar game to this, right? That was really based more off of trivia. And this game can go into that trivia area, and if it performs the way we think that it will, we will actually take it that way also. We have different B characters that represent different trivia styles, okay? So here, if you wanted to do a movie expansion, right, we could actually make the cards and put the movie character on there, and you'll be able to remove or insert them back into the deck based on the people that you're playing with, right?
Yeah.
So right now, the game itself is all very general questions, but it doesn't prevent it from going specific to sports, movies, literature, science, geography. We can do all of those things, and we've been thinking about them, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that Richard really, really likes, and we'll get there, right? So, but right now, it's all experience.
Well, what have people been thinking as they're playing it here at the con?
When can they get it?
That's a great problem to have. Well, thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you very much for your time.
We truly appreciate it. This is Hive Mind at Calliope Games. It's an incredible game for a very specific set of circumstances. You have some friends over, and like you were saying, you have kids playing with mothers, playing with grandfathers, and everybody can get on this game, so that's really significant. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We got more coming from GenCon 2016.